Happy New Year. So today is January 1st, 2021. And one of the things that I wanted to do for this year is start a vlog or a podcast that I would be able to talk off the record about the things that are going through my mind. I've created a brand around speaking on the topics of entrepreneurship and personal finance, and I feel a little pigeonholed into those topics as people, really the audience that I've curated looks to me expecting to get gems or pieces of information dropped on those topics. So I decided I want to create a little bit of an outlet for me. First and foremost, I decided with 2021, I want to document everything. So I'm going to be writing things down. I'm going to be recording. I'm going to be electronically documenting so that there is nothing missed in the accomplishment of the goals that I set for myself, but also in what it is that I potentially can share with everybody else. So this is going to be the first of many, hopefully. I'm looking forward to remaining consistent. Some of the goals that I've set for myself include healthier eating and healthier lifestyle. There's financial goals, there's spiritual goals, there's project goals. And this is to really kind of keep me accountable and keep me sharing that progress and the success around those goals with you. Who knows? Maybe I will invite guests to attend and have conversations. There's so much out there in terms of opportunity to share, express, to learn, and teach. So I want to be a part of that for 2021. 2020 was a tough year for a lot of people. We had the pandemic starting and then roaring into full swing. We had challenges around income. We had much loss in terms of the lives that we are accustomed to living, in terms of some of the people that we know. I know for certain I have a very close friend that I've known for half my life lose his life to gun violence. And that took a pretty big toll on me psychologically. But I did not allow it to stop me from pushing forward and working through the goals that I had set for myself or the trajectory that I was on. So today we're in a new space where we have a clean slate, as I like to call it. And so the name of this episode will be Clean Slate. And basically that is, just unloading all the baggage, the doubt, the successes and the failures of 2020 and recentering, refocusing, bringing what is essential into this year and then building from there. Of course, the success and the failures are lessons. They're things that we can use as a point of reference, and they're compounding impacts as well, especially financially. So of course you don't want to erase all the work that you did, but what you did yesterday does not matter today. It's what you do with today that counts. And so I'm here to start anew, clean slate, and document my process throughout 2021. So to start, one of my big goals, and I've been talking about it probably for a month or two before the turn of the year, was to go vegan for 90 days. So there was a bunch of vegan craze, and everybody was going vegan, and then nobody was vegan, and then just a host of things. And there's a couple of reasons that I want to do the vegan 90, as I'm going to refer to it. First and foremost, I feel that I'm not an excessive meat eater, but I am aware of the health implications that excessive meat eating can cause. Cholesterol is one of them, and I do know that I have a higher than normal cholesterol, so I'm looking to get that in check. There was a period of time that I was vegetarian for, I want to say, just over a year. And during that period of time, I literally felt the best that I had ever felt. This, of course, is before I turned 30. So with turning 30 in 2020, I'm starting to notice different things about my body and the way that it's changing and what my body wants and what my body needs as far as nutrients, I started taking a multivitamin regularly, which is not something that I'd done previously. I started drinking more water. I'm having a harder time recovering from drinking alcohol, certain sugary sweets, or other processed foods don't agree with me as readily as they had once did. And so really just the overarching goal for 2021 for me is health, is my health. Finance has been great. I found ways to make money, multiple ways to make money. I did not have my employment interrupted at all during the pandemic. So I've been fortunate in that front. But all the money in the world doesn't make a difference if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it. So with the pandemic, I fell off of a lot of the activities and disciplines and behaviors that I had established for myself pre-COVID, with regard to working out, going to the gym, practicing Kung Fu, which was a passion of mine, but also the way that I ate, what I ate, when I ate, how frequently I ate. So I definitely gained that COVID-15 that I'm looking to eliminate, but I do want to increase my physical activity, and I want to also make better choices in terms of what it is that I'm putting into my body. So the Vegan 90 is a test of discipline because it's 90 days of no meat or dairy. And cheese is a weakness for me. I love cheese. I can eat a whole block of sharp cheddar. The sharper, the better. And it sounded like a commercial. But I love cheese. I love eggs. I'm not a milk drinker. I do opt for the alternative milks like almond milk, coconut milk. When I have the option, I take that in my coffee instead of cream or half and half. But the first 90 days, I'm going to be very strict about what I eat. And so, of course, it's a lifestyle change. It's changing a habit. It's remaining conscious of what you're putting into your body. And so the way that I'm going to hold myself accountable and help in this process is by logging all my meals. So I downloaded an app that I had a few years ago called MyFitnessPal. And basically, you can log your meals throughout the day, and it gives you a rough estimation of how many calories are involved with that meal, what is the macros that show up, carb, protein, fat. And so I'm really excited. I started doing it today, and looking forward to continuing the process. The technology is amazing. I took a bag of spinach that I intended on eating, and basically all I had to do was scan the barcode on the back and it just pulled it right up. So I don't have to go searching through a list of 5 different types of spinaches and the different brands that exist. So that's one goal. That's a physical goal, definitely focused on improving my health and undergoing this massive physical transformation. We'll see. But journaling is another goal. I want to write however little or however much once a day, whether those are affirmations, whether those are my feelings of frustration or my feelings of joy, something I'm excited about, something I'm working on, a reflection, a thought. I want to make sure that I'm writing at least one time a day. And with writing, I also want to do more reading. So I didn't read a lot in 2020. 2020 was a really bummer year for me in terms of the disciplines I'm used to establishing for myself. But I had also financial focuses. I was trying to grow my brand. I had started writing for large publications like Entrepreneur and The Griot, and being recognized and featured in different places. So all of that was exciting, and the high of being recognized and growing my audience really kind of took precedent over everything else. Meanwhile, I'm behind the scenes, not eating the best, not working out, and really quarantining because there's no other option. And I think physically definitely was to my detriment. So working on getting out of that, maintaining my mental health, maintaining optimism around life in general, continuing to share and provide joy for other people, but also to find joy in interactions and certainly focus on the joy, whether that comes from self and the things that I accomplish or comes from nurturing of relationships that are foundational to maintaining my stability mentally. Project goals, I have, or I'll call them project goals, which basically involves planning and execution. I either get stuck on one or the other. I would say 80% of the time I get stuck on the planning and I never really pull the trigger. And then I'll come up with all the reasons why it won't work. So I have some project goals listed that I want to accomplish. And as a part of that, I do have an element or component that focuses on relationship building, where I decided that once a week I'm going to spend an hour talking to somebody that maybe I don't talk to on a regular basis, or maybe I do talk to on a regular basis. But going out of my way to nurture relationships is going to definitely be a priority with this year. Outside of that, I have some spiritual goals, focusing on fasting, focusing on reconnecting with the world of spirit, and however you want to acknowledge or recognize that, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it the source, whether you call it God, whether you call it the ancestors. That's something that is foundational to who I am. It's something that I have not spoken a lot on publicly and recently, but definitely something that is key to my existence, focusing on that spiritual piece, helping to stay centered and level and connected. So that's a part of my goals. I know this sounds crazy, but I actually want a dog. So I've been debating over the last couple of weeks whether or not I, first of all, could afford a dog, what kind of dog that I would want, what kind of time investment and commitment I can make to owning a dog, and then of course, what age dog do I want? Most people get caught up in the excitement of raising a dog from a puppy to adult, but because I'm inexperienced as a pet owner, and certainly inexperienced as a dog owner, a lot of the forums that I've read indicate that a puppy is probably not the best first choice. I do want to adopt, so weighing my options there, but I'm very excited about expanding a little bit of my family, because otherwise I would probably go out and have a child, and I don't want to do that out of loneliness. Just being real with you guys. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting a dog. I'm excited about the prospect of what that can look like. It's still pandemic conditions, so you can't really go out, socialize, so I'll be in the house. Once this pandemic calms down, I think I'll turn a more aggressive focus to dating. I'm at an age where I think companionship is something that I'm kind of longing for and something that I'm ready for as I look to transition into more wealth generation and building. Here I go talking about finance again, right? But it's not all about the money. It's about just enjoying your time and enjoying the different things that you have with somebody else. So don't know where that's gonna go and when that's gonna happen, but it's on the agenda. Don't want to take up too much time as I navigate the new landscape of vlogging and podcasting, and I don't want to just ramble on and on talking about nothing. So interact with me, guys. Let me know if there's anything that I said that you can give me feedback or pointers on, anything that I have said that made you laugh, that made you think, or anything that you want to share. My focus in creating and sharing this is certainly to build community around me, and I like interacting with people. You give me ideas of things to talk about. You give me ideas and reinforcement around what are my passions. And so any comments, laughs, criticisms, questions, I invite you to interact and engage with me. But until next time, out of here. See ya.